Now, grade 12s, I want to do a circle question. Everybody knows circles will be in the paper, in your paper too. Everybody knows that we're struggling with it a little bit. So can we do a circle question? And I want you to look. It's in your paper, but I have typed it out for you. And here is the question. I've got question number 6. All right, so question number 6. Everybody's still okay. Looking, there's no questions. There are no questions yet. And Atlantis is here, Manenberg, Belleville South, Bridgetown, Sarepta. Well done. Welcome to all of you. And question 6 gives me this question. It says, given the circle, pencils out, everybody with me, given the circle x squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 2y plus 1 is equal to 0. The first question says, determine the coordinates of the center as well as the length of the radius. Determine the coordinates of the center as well as the length of the radius. I'm just going to write the equation here again. It's x squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 2y plus 1 is equal to 0. That is the equation that they gave me of the circle. Now they're asking you to give them the center and to give them the length of the radius. Now, grade 12, you want to put your equation in this form. X minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equal to r squared. Where do I get this formula from? This is the equation of a circle centered away from the origin. Your origin is not your center. So you want to take that equation and you want to put it in that form. It is so simple. Some of you battle with it. So what I'm going to do is put your x's together first. X squared minus 6x. The x's go together. Then you have your y squared and the minus 2y. The 1 you take to the other side immediately. Remember, you want it in that form. And so I put my x's together, I put my y's together, and I take the plus 1 over to the other side. Now, matrix, I am ready to go to that form. So I open up my bracket and I say square. Plus, I open up my bracket and I square. And I put down minus 1 there. Now, just see how easy it is to get your first bracket. You take, remember we call this completing the square. But there's such nice short methods to get this. Just look. What is the square root of x squared? It's x, right? Because if you're going to square it, you're going to get x squared. Now, all you do is, do you see this minus here? You take that sign that you have there. If it was a plus, then I would have put a plus down. But it is a negative, so I put my negative down. Grade 12, all you do is you say 6 divided by 2. What is 6 divided by 2? It is 3. Now, when you say, but ma'am, divided by 2, remember dividing by 2 is the same as multiplying by a half. So all you do is you take one of that, that's x squared. You take the minus. Can you see how I brought the minus down? And you say 6 divided by 2 is 3. Then you take the y. That is a minus. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Some of you are SMSing the answers through already. Somebody said the radius is 5. That person there, just look, Carol, it's not 5. Your center is correct, but your radius is wrong. Nani, your center is correct and your radius is correct. And then Sonwa Bili, just look, your center is not negative 3 and negative 1. I'm going to show you now why it isn't that. And then Sifo Sethu, you did it beautifully. Now, all those students who got it wrong, just see quickly why. Why? Now, look. Divide by 2 is 3. Divide by 2 is 1. Now just look what I do. What did I add on this side? 3 squared is 9. So you say plus 9 on the side. 1 squared is plus 1 on the side. My students say, but ma'am, what about the negative? Why isn't this negative? Because when you square negative, it in any case becomes a positive. So I have x minus 3 squared plus y minus 1 squared is equal to 9. So everybody just look nice, Andy see where that was beautiful. Can we look at the radius? I just want Carol to quickly, not Carol, it was, let me see, Sonwa Pili, just look. Can you see there's already a negative? So your center is going to be, remember the negative is there, always take the opposite. The center is 3 and 1. Do you understand that? It's always the opposite of the sign that is in your bracket. And remember, this is r squared. So if you want r, it is the square root of 9, which is equal to 3. So the center is 3 and 1, and the radius is 3. Remember, if that was a plus, then your center would have been negative 3. If that was a plus, then that center would have been negative 1. Remember, this is the x coordinate of the center, and this is the y coordinate of the center. All right, so we have got the circle, and we've got the center now, which is 3 and 1. And now we come to a quite difficult question. I think that this question is difficult, and I want to help you with it. After that, it says, remember, we've got our center now, and we've got the length of our radius. Now it says, if A, which is 3 and K, is a point on the circle, determine the equation of the tangent to the circle at A. Whoa, that is a mouthful. If A, which is 3 and K, is a point on the circle, determine the equation of the tangent to the circle at A. I want to draw the circle for you quickly. Draw with me, guys. Draw your y-axis and draw your x-axis. Okay, thank you. I see the student telling me he's using a Casio. Don't worry, I'll show you quickly how to do standard deviation on your Casio calculator. All right, grade 12. The circle had a center of 3 and 1. So my center is 3 and 1. So 3 on the x-axis is more or less here. And I have this center, which is 3 and 1. And this circle is centered away from the origin. I'm just going to draw a rough circle, everybody. That is my center. So say, for instance, this is my circle. Can everybody see? I don't know what the y's are, so all I'm interested in is that 3 and 1. That is now your circle with center 3 and 1. And look at the question again. It says, if A, which is 3 and K, is a point on the circle, determine the equation of the tangent. Now remember, 3 and K is a point on your circle. The 3 is the x value, but you do not have the y value. You don't know what the y value is. So how are we going to find the y value? You are going to take the equation of your circle, which we worked out, grade 12. It's x minus 3 squared plus y minus 1 squared is equal to 9. Now 3 and K is a point on the circle. Now just look, 3 and K can be there because it has the same x value, or 3 and K can be here because it has the same x value. Do you agree with me? I just want to go find out what is the y values. So how do I do that? I'm going to take this 3, it is a x value, and I'm going to substitute it into the place of x. Can you all see what I'm doing? I am looking for y. But what is the value of y? They called it k. So I'm going to put k into the place of y. Can you see what's happening now? You are now able to find k because 3 minus 3 is 0. So that falls away and you have left k minus 1 squared is equal to 9. Can you see that k Oh, some of you are SMSing through the answers already. That is fantastic. Sonwabile, you are just so clever. Can I write this bracket out twice? I can. Nobody is going to say k squared minus 1 or plus 1. That is wrong. Remember, you write this bracket out twice. K minus 1 times k minus 1 is equal to 9. Multiply out your brackets. Minus k gives me 2k. A negative times a negative is plus 1. Bring the 9 across and you get 0. So you have k squared minus 2k minus 8 is equal to 0. Open up your brackets and you have k and k minus 4 plus 2. K is equal to 4 or k is equal to negative 2. Now there are some, Victor, you and Sonwabile, you are so clever, and then you took the k equal to 4. You SMS'd through that k is equal to 4, and that is awesome. Why did you choose k equal to 4? Because the question said k has to be bigger than 0. I cannot believe you guys are so great. K is greater than 0, which means k has to be a positive. That is why you chose k equal to 4. Now remember, now k is 4, right? We're still looking for the equation of the tangent. So now your k is 4. Now what is the equation of the tangent there? Grade 12, a tangent is a line that only cuts a circle at one place. So what is the equation of that line going there? What is the equation of this line going there? I am going to wait 30 seconds. I am so excited to see if there is somebody this afternoon that can tell me what is the equation of that line there. I'm waiting. Oh my word, Victor, that is great. Y is equal to 4. I am amazed. Y is equal to 4 because it is a horizontal line. How awesome are you? If k was equal to negative 2, this would have been 3 and negative 2. Then what is the equation of that line matrix? Y equal to negative 2. I hope that I'm not going too fast. We got the equation of the two tangents. We only had to give one because they said that the k had to be greater than 0. Now what if your x values were not the same? Then you know, draw in your radius. I just want to show you, I'm just going to choose any two values just to show you something. You see your x values were the same there, but what if they weren't the same? What if this was my circle? And there is my center, 3 and 1. Everybody just follow me quickly. And I took that point 4 and I took a point 6. And they asked me, say for instance, that was the point. Find the equation of the tangent at 4 and 6. What would we have done? Okay, you've got your pencils, you've got your ruler. Some people are still SMSing, ma'am, it's a horizontal line. Y is equal to 4. I'm so very proud of you guys. You don't understand. I thought you were going to battle with that. You guys are just amazing. Okay, so now my x's on the same, right? Can everybody see that? Your x's on the same, like we had in our previous question. So we have a point 4 and 6. So what do? All pencils out. Draw in your radius. What is a radius? A radius is a line from the center to the circumference. What are we trying to get here? The equation of the tangent. So draw in your radius and draw in your tangent. I want to find the equation of the tangent. Now grade 12, what must you tell me? Immediately, you must tell me, ma'am, a radius is perpendicular to a tangent. You must immediately draw in this 90 degrees angle here. So remember in the first question, the x's were the same. Did you see that? That's why you got a horizontal line. That's why you got a horizontal line. That's why it was just y equal to 4. But now you have your x's not the same. So everybody draw in your radius, draw in your tangent. Okay, so I'm going to find the equation of this line here. Step number 1. It's a tangent. So y equal to mx plus c. Are you happy with that? Y is equal to mx plus c. I'm going to find my gradient. I'm needing the equation of the tangent, grade 12s. So you can't find the gradient of the tangent. Do you agree with me? Because you only have 1 point. You only have the 4 and the 6. So you first have to find the gradient of your radius. Okay, so can we get the gradient of the radius? I know you guys have got the answer to this already. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. What is this? This is the gradient of the radius. So can we substitute? Can I say y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2? Of course you can, as long as the x's are not on top. What is y2? It is 6 minus 1 divided by 4 minus 3. Grade 12s, I get 6 minus 1, which is 5. 4 minus 3 is 1. So that is the gradient of the radius. But you want to get, how did you get 6 for the coordinate of A? No, the student that just asked, Neliswa, I just chose these coordinates 4 and 6, hey? They are not worked out. I just chose this as an example. So don't worry, I didn't work this out. These are my own coordinates, right? So what did we work out first? We worked out the gradient of the radius, which is 5 over 1. Now what will be the gradient of the tangent? Guys, think for me quickly. What is the gradient of the tangent? I need to reciprocate. I need to turn this around because the lines are perpendicular. If lines are perpendicular, the product of the gradients are negative 1. So the gradient of my tangent, turn it around and change the sign. So on your calculators, if you take this multiplied by this, you will get negative 1. So the gradient of my tangent is negative a fifth. So I started off with y equal to mx plus c. Nice, Nani, you got negative a fifth. I'm very proud of you. The gradient is negative a fifth x plus c. Everybody, are you with me? Now, how do we find c? All I'm going to do is, I'm going to sub in this point. Grade 12, please, you can't go sub in the 3 and the 1 because the 3 and the 1 is not on your tangent. You need to take a point on the tangent. Sub in, everybody. 6 in the place of y, negative a fifth. What goes into the place of x? 4. And your c will be equal to, that is negative a fifth multiplied by 4. And I've got that, which is that. It's negative a fifth. Negative 1 over 5. Everybody, are you okay with that? Multiplied by 4. And I have equal to negative 4 fifths. Take it over to the other side. So it's going to be 6 plus 4 over 5. And it's 6 plus 4 over 5. And you get 6 and 4 over 5, which you obviously knew is 34 over 5. And you've got your C, and you end off by saying it's negative a fifth x plus 34 over 5, or you can leave it in mixed number form, which is 6 and 4 fifths. A lot of you are SMSing through. Nani, just check your C value. You got 26 over 2, and that is 13, and that's not correct. Maybe you didn't take it over and change the sign. Remember, it's negative a fifth times 4, and then you take it over to the other side. Let me just see the equation of the tangent under C, where is definitely negative a fifth x plus 34 over 5. I'm very, very proud of you guys. And there I did two things. We got the center and we got the length of the radius. Everybody knew that. Then I did a tangent where the x's were the same. Awesome. If the x's are the same, you're just going to get horizontal lines. But then I took a point where the x's are not the same. So what did we do? We drew in our radius, did a 90 degrees. Still remember? Then I worked out the gradient of the radius. Everybody, it was 5/1. I reciprocated it for the tangent and I subbed in a point. And I think that that is such a beautiful question for the circles.